Good morning, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. Hello, my name is Soul Leader. I am the Soul Leader. How are you all doing? Good day. Um, don't mind me for talking really low. The babies are still sleeping. But this morning I wanted to talk about something that I realized about generational curses and why sometimes people's uh, end up doing things that they really didn't mean to do without knowing. I'm talking about that. Um, Something I noticed when it came to dealing with generational curses. Um, I remember seeing in my childhood where I'm not going to say I never seen loving relationships because, of course, I had grandparents. I had a set of grandparents who stuck it out with each other for over maybe I think it was 6 or 5 decades, right? Before they actually got married. Like my a set of grandparents were common law marriage, but they didn't get married until 2004. Um, and then I had a set of grandparents who were married since they were very young and never divorced. They basically one passed before the other. So there were relationships and other family members on either side that I seen a display of real love and stuff. But also I did see like staying in situations just cause, you know, and I realized that I had learned that behavior, um, to when things are not good to still go back to it, or when people mistreat you, allow them to mistreat you more. You stand means you love them more. No, that's not what that means. Um, a lot of behavior that I realized that I carried on was learned behavior. Like I started to think about like, dang, how do women in my family really react when it comes to men? I noticed that a lot of women in my family are always balking when it comes to men. Now, not saying that some of them didn't wasn't, what men quote unquote call nagging, or always wanting to fight and stuff like that. But one thing I realized um, about why some women get that way with men, because I feel like a lot of us will fall for a guy who doesn't even know how to be a man himself. The same way as a lot of us women, we think because we a woman, we have the right to do the things that we do, like be disrespectful or talk down on a man. But actually, men have feelings too. Also, when we do things like that, because I've been guilty of that before, uh, to talk down at a guy, like not saying that was something that I always did. I'm just saying it was something that was going on that was causing me to react in that way. But when I look back, I'm not really proud of certain things that I have said before, because when I think about what I have said, I'm like, dang, just because they was being cutthroat don't mean I had to be cutthroat. And at the times when I chose to be that way, I said some things that I know probably stuck with somebody, because if things that someone else has said had stuck with me, I'm sure that if I was matching that energy, I said some things hurtful too. Now, what I'm getting at with this is like, I'm noticing in the black community that everything around us is taught to do the opposite of what love does, and we sit here and we mistreat our men, and the men, we mistreat our women. For what? For what? Why? Why are we not sticking together? Why do we feel a need to remind a man of all the things that he's not doing right? Why do we feel a need to go, men, why do we feel a need to remind a woman of what she isn't anymore? Why do you feel a need to create with her and not build with her, but you have no problem with creating with her, which is making children? You have no problem with creating all this drama, bringing other people in. lying, cheating, stealing, deceiving. Not saying all men do it, because women do it too. I'm talking to those people that lives on those side of the love song. But and another thing, I noticed when it comes to the women, why are you okay with looking for a man to take care of you? Why are you okay with looking for somebody to do all of these things that your daddy didn't do? As a people, and whether you black, white, whatever, let's not put color into it. I'm just naming facts that I noticed in my own race, the flaws in some of us, how we could all just stop pointing fingers at each other and start to love each other much better. Because, either way, in this world, we need man and woman to create life, right? So, one thing I've learned in a relationship is, like, even when something is bad, it is best to talk those things out. Like, don't go to sleep angry, because things will build and build and build, and then the next thing you know, you got resentment for someone that you really love. And I'm speaking on that because I'm going through that in this moment, and I'm not happy with the fact that I feel the way that I feel about a particular person. And I'm not even just this particular person, about other people too. Old friends and relatives, coworkers, whomever. I have different issues with different folk. And some are big issues, some are not. But when I think about relationships and how they can change you, and how we learn things from our parents or the people that raised us, like really bad behavior. Like, who in the hell taught me to only deal with a man if he can do something for me? Because I used to think that way. If you ain't had no money for me, if you ain't had whatever I wanted out of you, it was deuces. That's how I used to think, you know. But over a period of time, for the past decade, I started to think like, okay, all these things that I want in another person, I'll be that to myself. All of these things that another person probably could give me, which is all the things that I have inside of myself to possess myself. Why not do it? Women, you should not be up here looking for a man to take care of you. You looking for a daddy. And ain't no grown man about to sit up here be no daddy to no grown woman with no daddy issues or mommy issues. You gotta heal yourself and fix yourself first before you think about getting a relationship, before you think about marriage and stuff. Marriage and stuff is a serious commitment. That is an oath before God. People need to take that serious. And I realized that I didn't take it as serious, because for me, yes, I know that I am a wife. I know that marriage is something that's meant to be in my journey. But also, I do know that at the point in time, I wasn't ready for marriage. One, because of my mentality and how I reacted to things. A hothead, always assuming stuff, being argumentative about the wrong thing, going to sleep mad. Like when I think about these things that I was possessing a few years ago, I see why that wasn't something for me. It's like I had let things that had happened to me, whether in a relationship or before a relationship, affect how I react to things immaturely. Well, I'm not doing it now, but I'm saying I can take accountability for what I can recollect about myself and my own behavior. Now, another thing I learned about being in a relationship and how men and women fall short with each other is like women. Why do we see a shiny old pretty guy and like what's on the outside and know his whole inside is shitty? And then you want to go and get pregnant with him. And mostly what they do, want to get pregnant when they know that he's sleeping around or dealing with other people thinking a baby. Why would you create another life to try to stop another life, but destroy another life all over one person when there's billions of people here? Now, I'm not saying it because I haven't done it. I had all of my kids because I really was in love. I really thought that I was going to get that marriage. But still, I still wanted my kids. So did that person too. You know, I mean, I'm not even going to speak for them. I don't know what the hell they wanted, to be honest. I take that back. I don't even know what the hell I wanted. Um, but another thing I noticed about, you know, because I'm trying to talk more about the women, because I could say a lot of things about men. I feel like men get bashed enough, and men take too many hits for the things that us women do cause upon them. Now, men do some messed up stuff, but us women, I'm putting myself in that category because at one point in time, I was very, very toxic too. You know, growing up in a toxic environment, I did learn toxic behavior. Um, all this gold digging or looking for a man to play daddy to your kids because their daddy ain't being a daddy, or or being promiscuous. Why you bringing so many men around your daughters and your sons? Because all you doing is teaching your son how to be a player, and all you doing is teaching your daughter how to be a whore. I'm just saying, and it's the truth. Some of y'all really need to hear that. I don't really agree with anybody bringing a partner around their kids, especially when you don't even know or not even sure if you're going to have this person around for forever, right? But like, if you just date, but don't bring that person around your kids, you know, because kids know. And you better believe your kids. Don't be the type of person that stay in a relationship and your kids don't like a person. If your kids don't like a person, you know you cannot be with them. That's it. That's all. Don't even force it. It's a waste of time. And men and women, stop making babies with people and not taking care of your responsibility. Then sit up here and go play mommy and daddy to somebody else's kids. You will not be blessed if you cannot take care of your own. Trust me. It does not work like that. You do not get to start something and not finish it, but then go someplace else and help work on something else. Don't work like that. That's why there's a lot of failed relationships, a lot of unwanted kids, a lot of kids that don't know each other. A lot of people miss out on knowing family and being blessed with this and that because of mistakes and choices that we all make. Now, I will say this. Relationships are not games, and a lot of people find it easier to play a game because it's like safe for them. It's like a defense mechanism to protect their heart because everybody have good and evil inside of them. It's duality. So you it's like you know right from wrong. That's it. That's all. People try to justify behavior. Be real with yourself. If you know you're ruthless, own it. If you know you're gentle and you're nice, own it. I mean, I know that's what I did. When I wasn't a particular way, I owned whatever mind frame I was in or my actions. That's what it was. You know, a lot of us get into things all just to stop other people from having something that we believe is ours, and that's not cool either. You know, stop holding up other people's life just because you don't want somebody else to have them. Who are you to make somebody else belong to you? You didn't create them. So you don't have the power to hold on to any person or anything. You know, I'm going to make this video a little short, but this was on my mind. I was supposed to make a video last night, but I was tired. I fell asleep and everything. But this one just had me really thinking about those little small things that I noticed that people do when they get with each other, the little dumb stuff. They don't think everything is always about sex and money and the adrenaline rush at the moment. And then the next thing you know, you got all these unwanted babies. And now you mad that you gotta sit up and change diapers. You mad that you can't go to the club. You mad that you can't go have sex with a whole bunch of other people because you got the responsibility to take care of your kids, right? But whose fault is that? Is sex really that important? Because I know me, when I was out there and just focused on sex, I wasn't out here making babies. And I thank God that I wasn't out here making babies. You know, because this is the thing. We be choosing our own children, mothers, and fathers. We put so much stuff on God that He didn't do, when most of the time our lives be in shambles because we put our lives in shambles. Most of the time our lives in shambles because we don't listen. That's it. And so what do you think? The storm is in your life because you have to learn a lesson. That's why you can't always be sitting up here, woe is me, crying and acting crazy when the storm go on, and wonder why you in the storm and why you not getting your blessings, because you're not sitting up here dealing with the storm. It's all about how you react with it. You know, you sit up here and you know you sleeping with maybe 3, 4, 5 girls, and then you're not protecting yourself. So what can happen? Either a disease or life can be made. You know, what comes with disease is sometimes a life can be taken. So if you know you're sleeping with 5 people, why are you having unprotected sex? Why are you taking a risk with your life while also taking a risk and creating an unwanted life? You see all that negativity there, and then you create a life out of that negativity. You see what I'm saying? And then that starts a life of chaos and confusion on that person, embedded in that person, because their parents just wanted sex. So now you're created out of just sex, and you wonder why you born into this mess, and then you grow up a mess because of some negativity festered up by your parents. A lot of us have been born basically out of pure lust. And I'm not saying that as to like say anything, because I too have not ever been married myself. So what do you think I was doing? Now, I'm not saying I don't love my kids. I'm not saying that they weren't made because we loved them. But I'm saying, when I think about in my situation, how my relationship went and stuff like that, it was a lot of lust into that. Because if it was a lot of love, things would not be the way that they are now. You know, so I'm going to end this video on that note. Beautiful souls, remember to be good to other people. But first, you got to be good to yourselves. Okay? You know, be good to you. Be honest with you. Love on you. Be one with you. Because when you be true to you, you can be true to other people. You know, you'll know what you want out of life and things like that. But we got to do better. We got to do better. Stop thinking with what's between your legs, because that's just like momentarily. It really is. Once you have a climax, you're back to reality anyway. So, I don't know. Some people are just really that insipid. So, beautiful souls, until next time. Peace and blessings.